What's up, guys? So this is gonna be like my first run through of doing this whole YouTube thing. Um, so bear with me. You know what I mean? It's gonna get better. It can only go up from here. So look, this is my 2020 Jigsaw 1000 that I have taken and did as much as I could possibly do to compete in the superstar class. I told you guys I was going to make a video. I told you guys I was going to show you my step-by-step process of my troubles and the whole nine of everything that I've done up to now and continuing on. So get ready because I'm actually prepping for this weekend coming up, which is the last XDA race, to go out there and see if I can do something before the XDA series is over. Drag race is not over, but just the XDA series. So just to go over a couple things, right? Excuse my mess of my table stuff, but sprockets. I personally found out that a 17 in the front, which is stock, and going with a 43 in the rear has been my best setup so far. So I'm actually going to put that back on because right now I have a 17 in the front and I went with a 42 in the rear, and I just had to really lean on it a lot to leave and get the 60 foots that I wanted. So when I went with the 43, it was giving me the whole shot that I needed without having to bear down on the RPMs a lot at the gate. I mean, some people are leaving at 8 grand, some people are leaving at 6, 7 grand. I try to leave somewhere around 55 to 6,000 and leave. That's what works best for me. You know, everybody else, does something different, what works best for them. But just for me, that 43 in the rear has done me wonders. So I went with the Brock's strap, so I can lower the front end. The class does allow you to let the forks slide up at least 2.5 inches, I believe. I'm about 2 inches up. I did notice that I did have about 3/8 of an inch more I could get from my ground clearance. So I'm gonna raise these up another 1/2 inch because with me strapping it all the way down, I cannot get it as low to the ground as I would like it. So I'm gonna have to actually raise the forks up a little bit more. So that's one modification that I'm gonna have to do from the last time when I realized that I had more ground clearance to gain if I let that up a little bit more. I went with the Akrapovic full titanium exhaust. I just wanted to be different. Other than running Brock's, I haven't heard bad things about Brock's. I haven't heard bad things about the Acro. I just like the to be different, so I went with the Acro. I personally love it. You don't get the crazy sound that Brock's gives you, but I feel as though that performance-wise, which matters, is something that it's eye for an eye. If not, maybe a smidge better, maybe a smidge not better. I don't know. But from what I have done and for this past race, it seems to be hanging right with everybody. I chose to go with the Q4 for my rear tire, just because the tire, the Battle Max that comes on the bike, um, is I believe a one. Is it a 190 or is it a 180? Let me double check because I'm actually. Let's see here. Sport Max Q4. Yeah, 180, 55, 17. I went with that shorter tire so I can pick up, one, so I can lose some weight. I believe the tire is actually a little bit lighter. And also, I wanted to try to pick up some more mile an hour on the top end, going with that shorter tire. Now, the rules allow you can't go with a bigger tire. You can go with a smaller tire, but not a bigger tire. Bigger tire. So, I try this tire. Everybody else may run something different. I don't know what everybody else is running, but I like this tire. It's been doing good stuff for me. I believe it's a 190 that comes on there, if I'm not mistaken, or is it if not a 190, it's a 180, and then it's a little bit taller tire, and I got a shorter tire. Either way, I need to double check on that and let you guys know for sure what it is. But I know this tire is lighter, and with it being lighter and being a shorter tire, it gives me some stuff on the top end. From there, I do have an anti-gravity battery that I need to put in. Um, I did not get one before the other race just because I had bought it and was ordered it and it didn't get in time. So I will be putting that in today. So that way it gives me a little bit lighter of a battery because that thing is quite heavy. I do have a carbon fiber cover for the rear seat. Everything is about the weight saving, so this is going to come off and that'll lighten me up a little bit. I do have some other bar ends I'm going to put on. Those will lighten me up a little bit, so that will give me a little bit of a extra edge. I went with the Corsair. Don't get me lying. Forget the exact name, windscreen, just because I wanted to get fully tucked and get up under there. Once I get going, try to get that aerodynamics thing working in my favor. Um, I don't, I don't remember the names of this stuff. This is my first video, so it's gonna be all jacked up. But hey, we're gonna get there. I'm gonna give it to you raw. Um, I also have the block offs that I'm putting on for my turn signals, just so that way that'll give me a little bit more aerodynamics. That may help me out. You land speed / 9 tenths guys probably know a lot about that. Just getting that extra little edge, trying to get everything out of there. I did also buy the Venturi velocity stacks, and I did buy the Sprint air filter that went in here up under the tank. I got that from HTP. The air filter, I think I just ordered from Sprint. The website itself for the F185. And I'll give you a cost breakdown of just about almost everything I've spent so far. I've actually spent some extra money on some stuff that I actually did not need. I did go with another chain, which that's getting installed because I wanted to play with my gearing a little bit before I made the switch and cut chains and all that stuff. So I did go with you can't use a different pitch chain. You have to use the same pitch chain. I just chose to go with the non-O-ring chain to try to give me a little bit less resistance, and we'll see what happens. But I went originally with this PSR luring link here, and yeah, it didn't work that well. And I just want to let you guys know that this is what I got right here. That I put this on, and the reason why it did not work that well, which I wish I could show you right now, is when I went to go lower the bike, the bottom, oh yeah, I can show you actually. The bottom of the shock would hit the middle part right here of the old luring link. So I had to go with the Brox one because it has this little cut down window piece right here, which allows you to get the bike down a little bit more. That other one just did not allow you to lower the bike as much as I actually needed to for the class. So that is the reason why I wasted $200 and some when I should have just went ahead and brought the Brox right off the rip. But I didn't think there would be a big difference, so I bought that one, and yeah, it cost me a little bit of extra money, but that's what I get for doing my own R&D, right? I did go with worldwide bearings, front and back. That is absolutely a must if you do that, or if you're going to run the class, I think, because they give you a big difference in terms of that free wheel spin and that drag. So that $380 some of a hit definitely can give you a little bit of extra oomph that you need. I do have mirror block offs. As you can see, I got zip ties in here right now, guys. See, when I got this bike, I literally got this bike and I had to do a bunch of stuff like 2 or 3 days before the actual event. So my whole program was done at the track and partially some before I even left out of the house. So I was really ripping. I mean, my tuner, which I'm gonna give you his information as well. He's local in the DMV area. He bust some stuff out for me, running on MR12 right at the last minute. He's got me in the pocket with that. I was telling you guys also, I went with this 40, what is it, 42 in the rear. Yeah, for me, I'm like 155 pounds, and it wasn't ideal for me. I just, like I said, I had to leave a lot harder, and then it would cause me to wheelie and all that stuff, and it was just not doing well for the way I slide the clutch. Now, some people may slide a little longer, a little shorter. You might want to leave a little harder, but for me, it just was not working out. So now I know the gearing that I want because I've been playing back and forth. I'm going to take this chain off, put the new chain on just because I want to get as far back as I possibly can right here so I can get that wheelbase. That's what I'm looking for, to get that wheelbase. That is essential. Already know I took off the big old tag mount that's sitting down there right at the bottom. Excuse my daughter's little motorcycle. That had to come off. That was just not working out. I also do have some rear mount deletes, but I believe it's carbon fiber, and it's just going to keep the pipe hanger there, and I'm going to get rid of the rear pegs, so that's going to shed a little bit of weight off as well. That'll help out here and there. And then from there, the last little bit of stuff that I'm actually trying to get done should be just the sprocket, the chain, and the battery. And I believe that's it. The sweet thing about this class, guys, is that it does not allow you to do much at all. I mean, between the full titanium exhaust, the velocity stacks, the air filter, messing with your gearing, putting the O-ring chain, a non-O-ring chain on if you choose to, changing the battery. I mean, you have to keep the stock freaking paint job. You have to have only so much of your fork showing. Can't have them slammed on the ground. I believe it's a 2-inch ground clearance for my weight and the bike that I chose. So you can't have it slammed on the ground. And the worldwide bearings. That's it. I also backdated the clutch. Yes, essential. So, the clutch that comes in this bike is actually phenomenal in terms of if you are going to stretch it out and send it, because it has this locking mechanism where the basket and the inner hub actually locks together once you engage that clutch fully and lock throttle. It brings everything as one essentially, versus the old ones where it was just the inner hub was just spinning with your back tire, and the outer hub was spinning on the motor, and it was as much pressure as you can put on the plate on the hat of the clutch basket was pretty much getting you the tightness of that clutch that you was getting. Now these have I wish I could show you because I thought I had the extra pieces, I don't have them here. I'll recap and show you guys. I think all I got is I took the mirrors off. Most of my stock pieces is on this mixed in with my daughter's stuff, but no, I don't. Okay, I'm not even gonna get off track here. Yeah, so I backdated to the 2016 Gixxer 1000 clutch, and what that did is I was able to put Brock's clutch mod in on that, and been that like jerky poppiness that you get out of the OEM clutch is because it's engaging and you can't slip it. So with the Brock's clutch mod, it allows you to really slide that clutch out and really get out there and bear down on the bike, while manipulating how much power is actually put into the ground, through the clutch and through your clutch hand, versus it just engaging it for you and locking it and sending you into an instant wheel stand, and then you're just, I mean, you're losing. I mean, if you wheelie and it's just, you might as well call it a day. Other than that, yeah, this is the actual setup. This is the platform that I chose. I mean, people chose other bikes, the 14s, because they have a longer wheelbase from the factory. They have a hydraulic clutch. You do, I will say the cons that I have with this bike, with my model, which is the 2020, is that I literally have to adjust the clutch after every pass. It's just something that I have to do because it's finicky. It's very finicky. The cable clutch is very finicky. I don't know why Gixxer went to a cable clutch. The '08 hydraulic clutch was lovely. I loved it. That was the last Gixxer model that I had, and I went back to cable now, and it's like, man, why? Who knows? I don't know. Someone probably knows, but yeah, it's not doing what I needed to do, and be consistent in terms of I can just come back, let the clutches cool off, fire up and go. I literally have to take off this center piece right here, and there's a little worm. They call it a worm screw. It's a locking nut on it, and I have to do the Brock's little specification in terms of tighten it up till you have no play, then about 3/4 of a turn back after you after you get back from your run, and if your clutches fill out adjustment, and then you can make your fine-tune adjustments up here. What I've noticed is if I don't do that, either the clutch will start creeping on me when I get up in RPMs at the light, and it'll start pulling me through the light, and then I'll be fighting it with my legs trying to hold the bike back or whatnot, or the clutch will just slip. I'll get up at high RPMs and it will just be singing really high, and then it just won't go nowhere. Or it'll be going, but it won't. The RPMs won't be matching the speed you should feel like you should be doing, and then you'll just be like, so I just gave up that pass. So I literally do have to adjust the clutch after every pass. It's not a big deal because it's not like you got to take fairings off or anything. You just have to sit there and take that little screw off, make an adjustment, and then put it back. So it's a little bit of a hassle, but not a huge hassle. So other than that, I love the bike. For me, I love it. I've had a Busa before. I've rode a 14. I haven't personally owned one, but I rode a 14. I just love the 1000s. Light, I can ride them better. I don't feel like I'm riding the boat. I hate riding the boat personally. But from the Busa, it was fun, but I just love these better. Oh, it not. And as you know, I mean, all the bikes are competing. One of them, they're not running away completely from the class right now. So with the rules they have in play, I mean, they're all pretty much on equal ground. Oh, and I believe the Kawasaki ZX10 is the bike to beat in this class right now. But I feel like I personally could make this bike run with that bike, or if not faster. And I'm gonna show you guys with this channel that I'm starting, that I'm gonna make this thing do what it needs to do. So other than that, I just wanted to give you the quick intro. This is just a rough little run through with you guys, of what I got, this is what I'm starting with, and then I'm going to show you how I am making improvements, adjustments, what's working, what's not working, and just go through it from top to bottom and show you guys what this class is all about and how you can do it on a budget. It's not that bad. So just for a quick run through on what I spent so far. Obviously, you got the bike. So you're looking at somewhere around between roughly 14 grand. for a 1000. Now, there's bikes in this class, the 2018s, the 2017s, and they're still running, with the class or whatnot. So it's not like you got to buy the latest and the greatest. I mean, you can go 3 to 4 years back, and still be competitive. But I bought this brand new off the showroom floor, and I've added these parts on here, which I'm gonna go through the rest of this for you real quick. So the bike is 14 grand. The Acropovic exhaust that I went with, full titanium, was about 2100. The wheel bearings for the rear and the front as a package was just about $400. The lowering link, the Brock's lowering link, I believe was about $200. To backdate the clutch, unfortunately, that was a pretty hefty one. That was about $700. The anti-gravity battery that I need to put in and get rid of this puppy right here, I believe that was somewhere around $150. The straps from Brock's to do the front end strap, I believe that was about 120, I believe, somewhere around there. The velocity stacks and the Sprint air filter. So the Sprint air filter was $200, which was crazy. I've never spent $200 on an air filter, but they work. They really do. I wasn't convinced, but they really do. I was mad, but I went on ahead and just bit the bullet and did that. The Venturi velocity stacks were $400, and then the carbon fiber seat you didn't have to do. Right now, this is the seat that came with it that's on there, but I do have the cover. You didn't have to do that, but I believe I got that for like $150 or whatnot. The side pieces deletes or whatnot. Now, if you get the Brock's, you can just take these off and save yourself some money from buying rear sets, because not rear sets, the rear passenger foot pegs, because Brock's exhaust comes right here out, and you don't really have a high mount exhaust you have to worry about. So I believe I paid like $150 for the carbon fiber little replacement piece right there, which was a bit excessive, but when you're trying to like be the best and run and be number one, you literally got to do every little piece that you can do. So I went on ahead and bit the bullet and did that. But I'm going to actually do another video to show you with everything on it, so that way you can kind of see, because tonight I am actually going to get started on breaking some of this stuff down and putting some of the new parts back on there that I ordered that I didn't get a chance to, and then kind of run another video and show you guys. I have some of this stuff laid out already. I have the mirror block offs here, and you'll see I'm a different type of guy. I didn't do the Brock's, Brock. Not that I have anything against Brock's or anything like that. I just like to have a different setup. That's just me. I like to have a different setup. So those are the mirror block offs that I went with. I have hot bodies, flush mount turn signals that I'm going to put on there. So that's going to go on there. Again, the reason why I went with another 17 front sprocket and not just leave the OEM on there, because I believe the Vortex front sprocket is a little bit lighter than the OEM 17 front sprocket that comes from the factory on that bike. Sprockets, I also didn't include it in price wise, so I mean you're going to spend somewhere around. I don't know if the price is still on here. It's probably no, it's not on here. Oh, that. But if you're buying sprockets, and you're playing the whole gearing game and you're trying to do your own research, I mean you're going to spend maybe $100 and some, $200 in trying different gear configurations. Some people are going up in the front, or some people are going down in the front and going up in the rear. I mean, they got all types of different like gearing combinations you can do. Just because you can't go into the motor for anything, so you have to do it all right here externally. You can't go in there and change that long first gear. So you have to do it with your gear set up in terms of your rear sprocket and your front sprocket or not. But for me, just that 17 stock, that 43 in the rear. I am getting rid of this 42, so I ain't already paid some money for some extra sprockets. But I mean, what can you do? It's the name of the game when you get into drag racing. It is what it is. You're gonna have to do some of your own R&D to figure out exactly what works for you, and then go from there. But yeah, that is 90% of of everything I got. Oh, this ABS. This is some weight too. I believe you can do the ABS delete. I am checking on the rules to see if you can, because my bike, you could buy the model, I believe the 2018s and 2019s. I forget it, but you can buy like a non-ABS model, or you can buy a ABS model. The 2020 just came with the quick shifter and came with the ABS already on it. I didn't buy the R model or whatever, where it has like the upgraded rear shock and the upgraded front shock, because I'm not road racing the bike, I'm drag racing the bike. So I didn't need to spend the extra money. Excuse me. I didn't need to spend the extra money for the upgraded shocks, and I don't think it came with. I think oh, and you do get some extra features in the dash of whatnot. But for the most part, for what I was doing, I didn't need the R model. I went with the basic model 2020, and I just set it up for drag racing. Whatnot. I believe the motors are the same. So or at least after I got done doing what I was gonna do to it, it was gonna be as fast as the motor can be. Oh, and not, because you can't go into the motor. Oh, and not at all. So yeah, guys, that's my setup. I am going to be tuning in this weekend. I'm going to be trying to upload content at least every other day. So give me a day in between to kind of do the editing and trying to get you guys all locked in with what's going on. And I stay at these events. I'll show you my rig setup. I do stay at the track, because if you run this pro class, part of qualifying is on Friday. You don't have to do it. You can come on Saturday and run the number 2 qualifying run, whatnot, and see if you're good enough to get in there. But just for me, I need to get that extra testing in, just so I can make sure my whole setup is on point. So I have to get down there Friday before 8, because that's when first round qualifying is. And then Saturday, there's another qualifying. I believe you get 3. So 2 on Saturday and 1 on Friday. So I need all that. So I'm going to be down there Friday. I stay in a little work and play toy hauler. I'm going to show you that stuff on the next video and give you the run through on that, to show you what everything I got to kind of make stuff smooth for me at the racetrack. And we can, if you got any questions, I'll be glad. I'll answer anything I possibly can. Prices, whatever it is, shortcuts I've taken. I don't know if taken any yet, because I'm trying to be on top of my game, but I definitely will let you guys know. And this whole thing is just to kind of let you in on the inside of the superstar class, what it takes. It's not a lot of information out there. I tried Googling and trying to do it, but I was like, man, I just can't get my hands on information to figure out what's this class gonna take to run it, and to run it right, or not. So I figure I would do myself a service and everybody else out there and say, hey, look, if you want to run the cheapest pro class, in my opinion, out here, this is what I've spent. And I'll drop videos every time, let you know what I spent. I mean, fuel, you're definitely going to run. You have to run MR12. You have no choice. It is a regulated gas as well. So you're going to be dropping, I don't know, shucks. I ran through about a tank and about No, I ran through one 5 gallon drum and half of another one tuning this bike. Because I just didn't put my bike on the dyno and tuned it. I actually tuned it on the street. So I want a true air induct, and I didn't do it personally. My tuner did it, so I didn't do that. I'm not a tuner. I just wrench on the bike. I do all the mechanical work, but the laptop and the number punching and all that stuff goes to another buddy of mine who actually takes care of that stuff or whatnot. So yeah, you're definitely gonna run through some gas, and I believe MR12 right now, if you were to buy a 5 gallon um, container of it, which is the smallest amount you can buy, I believe it's somewhere around, what's it, $120 or something like that. Dang, I gotta get better on prices. But yeah, it's. I'm gonna get all these prices for you in the up under there, because I've ran through. I mean, I keep I keep one full one always, and then I always keep an empty tank with me. This one's kind of empty. Still got a little bit in there because I drain the fuel out of here every time after every weekend. Oh, and not just because you don't want that stuff sitting in your tank. It will gum up your fuel pump like no other, and then you'll be mad that you got to do a fuel pump change on a brand new bike. Oh, and not. So I get it out of there after every day. So if I race all day, and that's another thing, I don't run the bike with a full tank of gas. I run with enough to, make a couple solid hits or whatnot. So by the end of the day comes when I'm shutting the bike off, I'm not going to run anymore. I drain all the gas out overnight. And just so you guys see what I use this little electric fuel pump here, which I just had to buy another one just because I dropped my other one. This is why this one's not set up completely yet. But I got some 1/4 inch fuel line holes. I went on Amazon. I got this for $14. It works amazing. Oh, not, and I just stick it in the tank. I have another little battery that I just plug up to it, and it sucks all the fuel out and pushes it back in here. I've been using this like pump one. The only reason I don't like this pump one, it does do the job, but it when it gets to the bottom, it's just so hard because you kind of like, if you get a little bit of air in the line, you have to like try to repump again and find the pocket, versus that one's a motor, so I can just keep swishing it around in there and it gets just about everything, and then I just fire the bike up and let it run until it's kind of like running out. Then I know it's just about out, and I may put a little bit of 87 in there or something like that, just to make sure that if anything, I dilute the rest that's in there or whatnot, so I don't have it just sitting in there. But that is another little thing that I actually use. The pump one works great as well by hand. That one just does it faster and better or whatnot. And sometimes I get impatient. So, and it was only like $14 on Amazon, so it's a nice little buy to save you some time. The clutches, again, like I was telling you guys, see, I backdated my clutch basket, so I'm running 2012 to 2016 clutches. That is what I'm using. So that's keep in mind. And I will show you a clutch setup when I get at the track and I'm going through it, to actually show you what I have to do every freaking time after I run. Like literally, I can feel it when I get back. And I'm like, man, I got to adjust these clutches again. I did waste money as well and went with a tire that I did not need. I'm just doing the most, man. I went with the 120/60/17 Q3 front tire. I went with a low profile front tire because I was trying to get that front end in the ground as much as possible. But I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to do that. The stock front tire that's on there is fine. Because 2 inches is 2 inches, so however you get it, you get it. I could put the front tire on, I just won't be doing the forks so much or strapping it down so much. And I just wasn't thinking when I was ordering stuff, and I cost myself some extra money I didn't need. So if anybody needs a Q3 front tire, I definitely do not recommend you ride it on the street. I believe they even say that, don't do that. I think it's strictly racing only. Not if you ride on the street, I think it doesn't hold up well. If you hit like a nasty pothole or something, you'd be in bad shape. Not. Other than that, hey, welcome to the channel. And hopefully you guys Stick with me. And throughout this last race, but I am going to be putting up a lot of stuff. I am going to be putting up stuff that that I'm doing in the off season. I am going to show you when I go out just to do other events, not XDA related, just so I can fine tune the bike for the class for next year. I'm also going to be showing you my setup on my truck and trailer, what it cost me for that, so you guys can kind of see if you even want to pitch a tent, do a hotel, or actually invest in like a toy hauler. And I'll give you the pros and cons on where if it's made my life easier or harder. I do have a daughter, as you can see, a 2-year-old, so she does accompany me to the track sometimes. So it used to be really hard to do it where it was just a truck and a trailer, and I had like a little tent or whatnot that I would sit up under. It just was hard on my wife and everything. It just made things complicated over there. So I did have to do some extra stuff because I had a family I'm coming to. She doesn't come all the time, but when she does come, I gotta kind of make sure that is accommodated, that she's accommodated. Oh, and that because sitting at like 100 degrees outside with nothing to do, and kids, their attention span is so small, so she's gotta have toys and crap. But um, yeah, so it's like nighttime where I'm at. So I came out here tonight to get this thing started. I'm gonna put this up soon, so you guys just tune in and excuse my bad videoing, but it'll be better, I promise. And yeah, I'll check you guys out this weekend. Stay tuned.